How's it going, everybody? Ragiroth here. So I know I've really only done one video talking about the new Guilty Gear game coming out, and that was the reaction video to it being announced. But I did want to talk about it more. I apologize for putting it off so much. So I, of course, when a new fighting game comes out, one thing I always got to do is kind of, list off the characters I want. So for this game so far, we only got a few characters. We got Soul, Kai, May, and Axel. Pretty safe, characters. Oh, yeah, and the one new character. We haven't really got his name or his, how he plays or anything like that. Now, I don't really know what the deal with this game is. It's a reboot, a sequel, or what. I mean, it's not quite as much of a jump as, I guess, obviously, Guilty Gear probably X2 / or the last 2D game was to Guilty Gear X Third. But it does definitely still seem like a bit of a jump, and I am a bit worried that everyone may not come back. I want to say there also will be at least a little bigger than what X Thirds was, but I don't know for sure. These are just the characters I want back most that were in Revelator 2, and which one, who I want to come back the most, basically. Number 10, Jacko. Okay, I'm going to be honest, most of these reasons probably are going to make things super in-depth. Jacko she was a pretty cool new character. I really dug her design, her play style. Her story was interesting because I think she was like Arya or something like that, but she lost her memories or something along those lines. Guilty Gear story's whack. I apologize if I'm butchering a bunch of stuff. But I just liked her aesthetic. I liked her design. I'm going to be saying this a lot with these characters. I'm sorry. I mean, I admittedly wasn't that great with her. She was kind of complicated to use. But I don't really mind that if I like the character. I'm willing to kind of use them here and there. She wasn't anyone I used that much, considering she's number 10 on this list. But I did definitely like her. I thought she was pretty neat. And it would be a shame to see her go to waste. I don't really know what her chances are. I don't really know if this game's a sequel or a reboot. It's one of the most frustrating things with this game. We don't really know where it stands. I really hope it's not a reboot, even though there are some pluses to it being a reboot that I'll maybe get to in one of the lists. But yeah, I don't really know what her chances are. It would be nice to see her back again. Won't lose sleep if she's not back. That's why she's so low. But still, hopefully Jacko's back. Okay, so number 9, Baiken. Baiken's a weird case because I remember in the 2D games, it's not that I disliked her. She just kind of didn't really, she didn't grab me. I don't know. I guess for some reason she didn't pop for me in, those graphics and that style. And I guess maybe her move list, I wasn't just crazy about it either, even though I think she's considered worse in this game. But anyway, I don't know when she was I think she was one of the last characters added in Revelator 2 or she was one of the later ones added. I was happy to see her back. She just looked so friggin' cool. Just her moveset, I feel like everything about her I feel like popped for me so much more, and I liked her a lot more. Now, I guess my taste may have just changed since, I got in the first Guilty Gear game I played, I was I think I was 12 years old. It was X2, I remember. So my taste may have changed, since then, or adapted or whatever. I should probably go through 2 disclaimers. One disclaimer is that I don't really follow the whole competitive scene. I don't really care how good a character is. If I like the character, I want to use them. Doesn't matter how low tier they are, how top tier they are. Because some of these choices on these lists are going to be high up ones, and they're going to be characters I think are considered pretty good or maybe obnoxious to fight against. I don't really want them because they're really good or obnoxious to fight against. I just like them because I like them. So just keep that in mind. Don't, blow me up in the comments saying oh, you just want them so you can, be cheap and stuff. No, I don't care about any of that. I just like the character. And we don't really know what they'll be like in this game. Characters get nerfed and buffed and, from game to game. I just thought about that with the Baiken thing. And I thought there was another disclaimer, but I can't think of it right now. Okay, so number 8, Venom. No, if it was the Marvel Venom, he would be a little higher on this list. But no, the Venom from Guilty Gear is pretty cool. Everything about him is just really neat and interesting. I mean, you could say that's basically Guilty Gear in a nutshell. But Venom is definitely has always been an intriguing character. Yeah, everything about Venom is just very interesting. I mean, he uses a pool stick, which seemed like dumb at first, but it's like, I don't know, it's also really cool, just like how he makes it work. You know, he summons the cue balls, and it's neat because he kind of uses it like kind of as a staff or something, a little bit. Not quite though. And this is like his hair. His hair is so crazy. Like, it's literally like this white hair that I think it's his hair. I'm guessing. And with like his like design on it, or I think the assassin's design on it. I forget what it is exactly. But like Venom isn't someone I really like. You know, again, use a ton. But I do. Out of that, I guess one of the mainstays. He's definitely, I think, one of the cooler characters. And hopefully he'll be back. I'm pretty sure he'll be back. I feel like he's a character. I forget if he was in the first game or not, but he's definitely a character that I think they don't really tend to get rid of. I know he might have died in the last game. But again, we don't really know what the deal with this game's story is, and you know, death can only mean so much in a fighting game. It might mean a little more than like in this in Mortal Kombat, though. But even still. Okay, so number 7, Johnny. So Johnny is kind of a case like Baiken, where I don't know, the 2D games I don't really care that much for him, but I don't know, just his transition to 3D and how he functioned then, he just popped way more for me. And I guess also it's probably because I appreciate kind of like Lido users now. Back then I don't think I really cared. Virgil was the one that made me really like Lido users from Devil May Cry. So I think I definitely kind of appreciate him there a little bit more. And his gameplay is interesting with like the coins and then all that. Yeah, I don't really, you know, he's also, you know, he's a funny character. He's one of the only like American characters I think in the game. Everything about Johnny's pretty cool. He's kind of like he's a funny guy, and you know, again, he was another character that kind of like, I think he was added in Revelator, so he kind of missed the boat initially. So hopefully they'll kind of add him a little bit sooner this time. It was weird that he didn't make. I mean, he was like in the story, but he wasn't playable. That was weird. I think his story-wise, I think he was like missing or something. I forget, but I think that he should just be in the base game this time. Like, let's be real. But yeah, his chances I think are pretty good. I think. Okay, so number 6, Sato 1, or Eddie, whatever you prefer to call him. He's kind of called Sato now, but Sato, he's a pretty sick character as well. I know he's been considered, I think he used to be considered top tier, so I don't know if he is in the newer games, I forget. But no, I just really like, and funnily enough, he reminds me, he feels more like playing as Venom than Venom does, you know, the Marvel Venom, because he's basically is a symbiote. And I guess his name is Eddie, and Eddie Brock, but I know that's not the reason he's called that. It's because of Eddie from Iron Maiden, but even still, just everything about him, you know, in the 2D games, 3D games, he just always looks really sick, and is a really sick, you know, really cool, interesting moveset. I don't usually like playing as the puppet characters. He's one I do kind of like playing as. He doesn't even feel that much like one to me compared to like Carl Clover or someone like that. I can't see Sato not making it. I'm pretty sure he'll come back again. I forget what happened with him in the last game. I know he became kind of a good guy though, or at least more of a neutral. I feel like I know he initially used to be he was evil, but now now I think now that Zato's back in control, he's been kind of more of an anti-hero. So yeah, I would like him to come back. I don't doubt that he'll be back, honestly. Alright, so number 5, Dizzy. Dizzy's probably one of my favorite Guilty Gear females. I think it was ridiculous that she was literally the last character added into the newest game. She was the last character added in Revelator 2. I don't know why. I know story-wise I think she was sleeping for a while. I think that's probably what had to do with it. But I've just always really liked her design, her concept. I mean, she basically uses like the Grim Reaper and I guess like an angel or something at the same time. But I think Undyne and Necron, I forget what it's called. I just always really, dug her moveset, everything about her, just really cool. And I mean, she's a pretty important character. I mean, she's like the princess of the Gears basically, and she's one of the main characters, like wife, waifu, love interest, and now her son is even involved in the game as well. So they should not sleep on her so much this time. She should definitely be in the game sooner. That was weird that they did that. And you know, I liked her in the 2D games, 3D games. She probably popped even more in the 3D games for me. But either way, I really liked her, and hopefully they kind of keep how she generally played before. Okay, so number 4, Ramnath Valentine. I always used to think her name was Rem Lethal. Ramnath was like the first, I guess, boss character that you could fight next third. I just thought she was, you know, again, really cool, really sick design. She uses like those 2 swords. I kind of like that she's like really tan with the white hair. I know there's a name for that look, like Gangaro or something like that. Her voice was really cool. And you know, again, she's a new character, so it would be kind of a shame if, like, you know, it was just kind of a one-off thing. I don't think she died. I don't think. I thought there was a point where you think she died, but no. Yeah, and I mean, she did become a good guy kind of too, so there should be no reason, you know, for her to not to come back again. You know, if this is a reboot though, then yeah, there's no chance. There's no chance for coming back. But yeah, I'm gonna say if this is not a reboot, her chances are pretty good. If it is a reboot, then her chances are like 0. But hopefully she comes back. I really enjoyed playing as her. I don't know if she's my best character. She's definitely a tricky play, at least for me. But even still, I really like her. Alright, so number 3. Sin Kiski. It's weird. In Guilty Gear Overture, I didn't care that much for Sin. I don't know. I guess I just wanted to play as like his dad more. I did really like that he's kind of like a mix of his dad, but with gear powers like Dizzy. That's an awesome combination because Dizzy's one of my favorite characters. Kai's one of my favorite characters. I don't know. Maybe I didn't like his design as much in Overture 2. I still don't really like. I don't know. His design isn't my favorite. It's more so. I don't know. I really like how he fights in it. I mean, again, he's basically in the mix of 2 of my favorite characters, so it's like I feel like I gotta like him a bit. And the eating mechanic is funny, and it kind of, you know, adds something unique to him, and I guess sort of, you know, I guess makes him at least. Again, I'm not super caught up with the tier list. Okay, so Sin is actually incredibly high up there. He's like number 2, at least at the tier list I'm looking at. But no, I just, you know, I just like his playstyle, like the effects to him, like the fact he has like red lightning. That's really sick to me. I mean, I wasn't really crazy about him using like a flag. I'd rather him use like a spear. But it's a unique weapon. You know, it's whatever, and he kind of makes it his own, and it is pretty cool. I mean, he makes using a flag kind of cool. So whatever. I'm hoping he comes back. I feel like, again, he's kind of in the same thing with Ramnath. If it's not a reboot, his chances are incredibly good. I think he's become a very important character. But if it is a reboot, then it's not happening. At most, it'll be DLC. Alright, number 2 is Leo Whitefang. Leo initially was probably back in X3rd, he was probably one of my favorite characters, probably my favorite new character. It was a shame he was I think kind of like not in the base game. He was added like really shortly after release. But I just really like everything about this guy. His design, his moveset, his personality. Like he's, I think, one of the few like burlier characters I do like in Guilty Gear. But I mean, yeah, he has such a sick weapon. He has like these giant like tonfa swords, for Christ's sakes, and just everything about him is really cool. I mean, it is like weird. Like he looks like he has like really like broad, like strong arms and shoulders, and like really thin legs. He like skipped like leg day basically, but whatever. It doesn't really bother me. And like he is, I think he was like kind of important in the story. You know, he's one of he is one of the 3 kings, like Kai is. And yeah, I mean, I'd like to see him more involved in Guilty Gear, and I also like him for personal reasons, because I guess like, well, my zodiac sign is Leo. His name is Leo. He's got, I guess, sort of a lion motif a bit. I think he is from Germany, and I'm mostly Italian with a little bit of German, and even though, you know, there's unfortunately no Italian characters, at least to my knowledge. So at least there's someone representing Germany, at least, you know. I mean, I only have a little bit of German in me, but at least it's a little bit of representation. At least it's someone really cool. So that's kind of 2 reasons I like him. And it's weird, though, because his birthday is a little out of the Leo range. You would think they would have made him, to kind of complete that, like an actual Leo birthday. However, this is Japan. I don't really know what they believe. Maybe their zodiac signs are different, and if there's a Leo one, maybe it is in July 1st. But as for Leo's chances, it's weird because I'm gonna say it's kind of the opposite, maybe with I don't know. It's weird because he might have been around. Oh yeah, I mean obviously he's got to be around longer than like Sin and Ramnath. If it's a reboot, he might have a bit slight chances just because at least he was around then. But if it's not a reboot, his chances are probably like okay, not great, but I think okay. I definitely think he should come back. I mean, I really like him, and he should be important in the story. Okay, so before I get to my number 1 pick, here's a couple honorable mentions. Answer and Bedman. These are 2 cool characters I like. They just, no one I'm super crazy about. Answer was neat. Definitely a unique character. So was Bedman, and his victory quotes were really funny too, or how he like talked really fast and all that. I know he did die in the story, so I don't really know what they're gonna do with that. Again, depends if it's a reboot or not. Okay, so for my number 1 pick, it is Raven. Okay, so this is one of the ones where I was basically saying like, I don't really care about tier lists and stuff. It's just a matter of if I like the character or not. And I know Raven is pretty high up on the tier list. And I've heard other people kind of complain they like hate fighting him. He's really obnoxious to fight. Yeah, Raven. Okay, yeah, Raven's number 3. Okay, but like when he first came out, I think he was like C. He wasn't considered that great. I think he was maybe like C tier. I guess he either got buffed or people just kind of found out ways that he was better. But here's the thing. When I first played Guilty Gear X2 and Raven appeared as an NPC, I'm like, oh man, why the hell is that guy not playable? He needs to be playable. That guy looks awesome. And then, every game, every new iteration, I'm like, are they adding Raven? Are they adding Raven? Are they adding Raven? Still no Raven. Then Guilty Gear Overture came out, and we got Raven. I mean, it's a different kind of game, and admittedly, he was a DLC character. I don't think you really use him in the free mode. I couldn't really use him in like the main single player mode or anything like that, which was kind of a bummer. But it was something, and I thought he was friggin' awesome. He was so cool. I absolutely loved his new design. Everything about him, his theme, everything about him was really sick. Super edgy, as I always like, and he even has, because I know I use a lot of black and green in my kind of, I guess, channel logos and all that. I guess he's kind of one of the inspirations for it. And then I was so happy to finally see him added in. I think it was Revelator 1. He was like an unlockable character, I think. You had to get enough money to unlock him or something like that. I was really happy about that. I absolutely loved his moveset, loved his play style. I was very divided on how I felt about the design. I really like his Revelator design. However, I probably do prefer the Overture design. So I know some characters, I think mainly Kai, May, and Axel, maybe not Soul as much, have gotten kind of revamps in their designs. If they did give Raven a Overture design, I would not be against that. I mean, I do like his Revelator design, but it's I would not be against if they just kind of went back to kind of the Overture design for him. That in a fighting game is just awesome. And I know I know people think he's a pain in the ass to fight. I don't. It's not that I want to be a pain in the ass. I just really like him, and I mean it's not like I'm that great at the game anyway. I just really like Raven. He's maybe one of my favorite fighting game characters ever. And I will be seriously bummed if he does not come back. And as for his chances, well, the good thing is, I don't know how popular he is, but story-wise, he could make sense either way, because he's been around since the beginning. That's the other thing. He's one of that man's he's one of his main followers. He's his left hand or right hand man. He's the equivalent of Ino or Ino, if I don't know say her name. So he is pretty important in terms of villain status. He just I guess isn't that active. And he is like a weird, like, you know, he doesn't want to die, but he wants to die. He a weird kind of thing like that. With like the sadism and stuff, or no, the masochism. But reboot or not, he could appear technically. There's no, because that man is technically the main villain in the beginning. So it's like Raven could be there from the beginning as well. So I think it's just his. I think it's his popularity that I think is going to hurt him. I don't know if he's that popular of a character. The tier list might help. It could help or hurt, honestly. But I really want Raven to come in. But yeah, that's about it. I guess let me know what you guys think in the comments below about this list. Let me know what characters you would like to see most come back from. That were in Revelator 2. I mean, you can tell me characters, that were in Revelator 2. And again, this is just my opinion. I know there's probably a lot of characters that, like, are kind of mainstays. They're like, why the hell are they not on her list? And it's, these are just the characters I like the most, or, that I, seem the most fresh to me. Some characters, like, I might kind of like, but I'm kind of a little over them. They're, like Slayer, he's kind of cool, but I don't like him that much. And it's like he's been in like every game, maybe not every game, but he's been in a lot of games. And or Eno for that matter. I'm kind of over her. Again, this is just what I want, so don't think this is fact or anything like that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like the video if you like it, dislike if you dislike it. Thank you so much for checking this out. Don't forget to check out Mark Yoon in the description below. Don't forget to check out Mr. Anderson Plays Games in the description below. Another disclaimer I thought of is that this list may come out after more characters are announced. So if there is a character on here that was announced after this list, that is my bad. That's just kind of how things worked out. And then lastly, if you'd like to support the channel, don't forget to check out my Patreon and maybe support me a bit. Again, not begging for money. If you want to, you want to. If you don't, it's no big deal. I will definitely give you a shout out though if you do. So that's about it. And as I always say, another time, another place. Keep being awesome.